Welcome to another edition of 360 Half Seconds. My name is Kia. I'm the VP of Sales for 360 Vet Sales, and with me today is 360 Vet Sales CEO Matt Arena. Matt, how's it going?
Doing well. How are you, Ken?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So it's been a while since we've done one of these. A lot has been going on. I'm gonna real quick explain to everybody how this works. So I'm gonna give Matt 360 half seconds or 3 minutes to answer one or a couple of my questions. And then Matt's gonna go ahead and answer those. Matt, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So time starts as soon as I'm done asking this question. Um, we get a lot of potential clients and even clients that have some reluctance to sell to corporate
Yep.
because there are a lot of preconceptions of what selling to corporate looks like. And so today I want to talk to you about um, the thing that we hear most, the misconception that we hear most. And it's not to say that part of this isn't rooted in some sort of reality, but there is a misconception here that if I sell my business to corporate, it will automatically become a cookie cutter business. So can you kind of poke holes in that myth?
Yeah, sure. Good question. And yeah, we do get this all the time. I think the first thing that I would say is it's really important for people to remember that when you hear stories from friends or other people about their experiences, most of the times people are very fast to share negative stories, not positive stories. So you hear a lot about the negativity that happens in the market, and we hear it too. I mean, we'll hear a negative story here or there, but you always got to take it into consideration and think to yourself, you don't know both sides of the story. You don't know all the details that led to this situation.
Right.
With that being said, I think it's really important when you are thinking about selling your practice that you identify and think of what are your specific or smart goals that you're looking to accomplish with a transaction. Um, do you want to only work for so long? Do you want to do a joint venture? How important is it to you that your practice stays running exactly the way it does today and has minimal change? Because there are buyers out there that will change a lot or maybe everything. There are also buyers out there that are very minimally going to change things, and a lot of the changes are actually going to be for the better. Um, but there's so many buyers out there that aren't going to change your software, they're not going to change your system. So again, this is why I say when you work with us, or if you're not working with us and you're just getting in the mindset of selling your practice, understand what your goals are and what you're looking for out of a deal. There's a lot
So
of variables. There's financial, personal, exit, retirement. I mean, there's so many variables, but know what those variables are and know what's important to you. And then you can try to identify the right buyer.
yeah, and I think you bring up a good point because I think that, look, at the end of the day, if you're looking to sell your practice, it's a business transaction. You want to get the most financial return that you possibly can, but that doesn't mean that that's your only goal. And sometimes maybe you'll take a little bit less, but you sign with a corporate group that, to your earlier point, they're not coming in there to change everything. They're looking at you as a business that is doing something right, and they want to invest in that business. So there are groups there that they're not going to touch your staff. As a matter of fact, they may give your staff even, better salary, better benefits than you can give them right now. There are groups out there that will not touch your standard of care. The reason they're buying your practice is because you have a great standard of care. You have a long-term customer base that keeps coming back to you. They want to keep that. And
Yep.
then I think there are groups out there that understand that a lot of times you built up your practice for so many years and you have this legacy and you have a reputation in the community, and even the practice name is important to you and it's important to the community, so they're not coming in to change that. So I think, to your earlier point, I think one of the most fulfilling and valuable discussions that we have with our clients and prospective clients is that, right, which is,
Yeah.
hey, before we get into your financial return, that's a given, we understand that that's what you want, but like, talk to us about what it is that you really want out of this beyond that. And I think some of those things that you're touching on here um, fall right into that.
Yeah. And quite honestly, we've had a few instances where we've worked with customers that said, I've got a couple private buyers, I'm never selling to corporate.
Mm-hmm.
And they've
That
sold to corporate because I think it's just once they get to understand and know a little bit more about the corporate groups out there, they start to establish comfort and trust, and they are able to check with references and learn a little bit more than just some of the noise that exists in the industry. Because there are some really great groups out there that you can sell to that won't that'll meet your needs, because everybody's needs are different. So I think there is a fit for everyone. It just depends on what your SMART goals are. And again, I hate to reiterate it so many times, but that's why it's so important to know what your goals are and what you're looking for before you even get into the financial or any of those other pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the point that you're hitting on is a good one, which is all these groups are not the same. There isn't like one corporate group that if you sign with corporate, it's going to be this.
Right.
Like all these groups are different. And to be honest, even some of the ones that are going to come in there and change things, they are also going to present benefits to you
Yeah.
um, that that may appeal to you. And I think that that's why it's so important to really look at each of these groups and understand what they're offering. And back to your earlier point that you made, this is also a good reason to consult with a broker, even if you don't end up using a broker.
Right.
When we have a good idea of what all these different groups are, what they look like post transition, because that's
We've
ultimately,
worked with them.
yeah, we worked with them, and ultimately what matters is how are things going to look post transition. How are they going to look for me? How are they going to look for my staff and my
Absolutely.
patients? So, okay, well, I think we actually did a pretty good job of getting this down within 360 half seconds. Just a couple notes here. One, we're going to start adding other guests into this weekly show. So be on the lookout. What we want to do is always provide you as much information and education as we can. So we are going to bring in other guests to talk as well. The other thing I just want to note is that in a few weeks, we're going to be at Austin and at AVMA in Austin. So if you're there and you want to talk to us about the market in general or something very specific to your practice, feel free to come see us, or leave a note or a comment, or send me like a private message on LinkedIn, and we can schedule a time directly to meet with you one-on-one and really go over specific details about your practice if that's what you want to do.